Welcome, Tully Adventurers Explore. Today we're remembering this past week
celebrating our triumphs and commiserating the challenges.
in the unforced rhythms of grace.
Tully Adventurers
Explore.
All right. It's been a good week.
Yes, it has.
I'm going to eat some breakfast. We're going to chat about all the great things that happened this week. Should be pretty good. I hope you all had a great week. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States of America. Pretty fantastic. So excited to get to chat with y'all about what's been going on. Yes. And we're gonna have some breakfast, so I hope you don't mind watching us eat. But so we'll start from right after Rest and Renegotiate last Sunday morning, which I thought Rest and Renegotiate went well. Just, had some good time to remember, and then went through a few things. We haven't lived up to all of them. There's definitely some places where we're gonna just have to make some space for each other, and that's okay. But it's been good.
Yep.
So then last week we did Sunday setup. And how did that feel for you? How was that going?
It went pretty well. I had a few discoveries. Discovering that I need to just keep the toolbox out while we're doing projects, because there might be something else I'm going to need.
Okay. So what did we do on Sunday setup?
We reculped the top of the...
No, that was Monday maintenance.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's all good. That's why I'm trying to make sure we remember from what each thing is.
Oof.
We've only been doing this for about 2 weeks.
Right.
Actually living in this particular schedule, having all of these things named so we know what we're doing. So Sunday setup is when we prepare to do Monday maintenance. And so we figure out what the project is that we're going to do.
That's right.
We make a list of the things that we need to get, and then we talk about it, figure it out, and then we go drive to wherever we need to so we can pick up the things that we need so that we can then do the job. And I know that since it was our second time doing Sunday setup, it still felt very awkward. We didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't know what to talk about during the live stream. And I think that's something that you mentioned afterwards. And I was grateful that you brought it up, because I get over here and I try to do all the planning that I can to make sure that our streams are going to be, interesting and that we have things to talk about. But then I forget, one of my big challenges as a leader is I forget to tell you what we're doing. And that's not good leadership. Kind of sets you up for failure. So do you remember now kind of how Sunday setup went and how you were feeling while we were doing it? Can you talk about that a little bit? All right. And remember, folks, like I said, I hadn't quite told Jennifer what it was that we were going to do. So, of course, she felt a little bit awkward. That's how you told me about it.
Yeah.
But
I was feeling like I was thinking maybe we should just skip Sunday setup, because people might be bored with our trip to the hardware store, or what we were supposed to be doing.
Sure.
Because if there's one thing I know, is that if I go into a store to shop for something with you, we are on a mission. It is not time to browse around. So I was just feeling awkward. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing.
And you mentioned that we have, normally it takes about half an hour to drive to one of these places. And what did you think we were going to talk about during that time?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I'm vaguely remembering the conversation, so you're going to have to fill us in.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I hadn't told you what we were going to talk about, so you had no idea. And so you were saying, who's going to want to watch us just taking this drive when we're not actually talking about anything? It's just not very entertaining, right? As a viewer, and I love that about you. You're empathetic. You're trying to think about things from as many different perspectives as you can. It feels awkward for you, and you let me know about that, how you were feeling, which is really important to me, because I want you to generally be comfortable so that we can generally do what we're going to do. Jennifer. Oh, man. But the rest of that is what we actually want to do during that time is share our DIY stories, share different projects that we've done, or people that we've worked with who've taught us about some of those things. And I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of DIY stuff in my life, but I know you have. You've done all kinds of projects, and so my hope is that we keep doing this for however many years we can keep doing it for. And so I'd love 2 or 3 years from now for our stories to be, oh yeah, you remember that time we did that project in the RV? And we'll remember these times that we've been doing these projects together. And that's, for me, a great way for our relationship to grow, because I need to remember things that we've done together, you know. Very helpful for me as a man to say, yeah, we did these things together. Cool. So Sunday setup still went pretty well. Overall, I thought it had its challenges, but we were learning from it. I really enjoyed that. And then Monday through Saturday, we did our Breaking Bible time, had breakfast together, talked about the Bible. How did that go for you this week?
I felt a lot more comfortable this week, knowing that some days could be very emotional, and other days just might not be. And it was okay. Whatever it is, and that it's okay.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I thought we had some great discussions, and you can check all of these things out on YouTube for those of you who are out there watching this. And we made playlists, so they should be in there all set up. But I thought we had some great conversations, and I thought that you okay? All right. I just enjoy that time together. We've talked about why we do Breaking Bible, and it still holds true for me. When you and I start the day on the same page, talking about the same thing, the rest of the day runs so much smoother, because we're not, going in totally opposite directions with no connection point for ourselves. So I thought that was great. All right, and now to something that sounds like you really enjoyed, our Monday maintenance. And on Monday maintenance, we did some projects in our bathroom. And how did that go for you? How'd you feel about it?
The projects themselves went great. Toilet paper holder is still up.
Woo!
Our little paper thin walls are holding on for dear life, but they're holding. And the caulking went great. We tried a new trick with the tape that I had seen on I think YouTube, and then tried the baby wipe thing. Oh,
Your TikTok advice.
Game changer.
Nice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And it still looks great a week later.
Yeah,
so,
happy with that.
Sweet.
It also takes some worry off my mind. I'm not looking at it every time I get in the shower thinking, oh, is water getting back here? Because water is the enemy of your trailer. Let me just tell you.
Yeah. When water just sits around in this trailer, everything gets moldy, just starts degenerating, and so.
Yeah, at a real quick pace.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, the projects went well. You were great help. I was grateful to have an assistant, because I forgot a bunch of stuff. And Yeah, I thought it went well. You know, even though it was unrehearsed and I wasn't totally sure, you know, how it was going to go, I felt like we interacted well.
Yes, and that's when we actually did figure out about Sunday setup and Monday maintenance. On Sundays, we'll talk about DIY projects we've done in the past. And then on Monday, we really want to help talk people through what it is that we're doing, how we're doing it, so that if they watch it, they can, and they want to do a similar project or the same project themselves, they'll know what to do because they see how we do it. So that was really helpful. But I also loved that we're learning how to plan. So Sunday setup still isn't perfect. It's not like we leave from Sunday setup and then on Monday we pull that bucket out and we've got every single thing we need. Sometimes that's not how it works out. And so I enjoyed our failures on Monday because it reminds us that even when we do the best prep that we can, that doesn't mean that everything's going to run smoothly and there's not going to be any hiccups. It actually means things are easier than they would be, but there's still going to be things that aren't perfect and might go wrong, and that's okay. There's no problem there. So I've been really enjoying it. We're 2 weeks in and I'm getting to laugh. We had some good laughs. We had some fun times. And it was good, and we're still just figuring out how to do it. You know, we're not perfect. All of our stuff is just reality. It's our reality, you know, and the shows that we're putting out here are just reality shows, you know. Go ahead.
One thing that I discovered is that once we get going, especially if it's successful, I want to keep going.
Oh, talk about it.
I was like, as soon as we got done, I looked at the bottom edge of the tub and I was like, yeah, we still got Coke. We could totally just bust this out right now. But the thing is that that's not what we planned for. And so it's important that we stop while we're ahead, not take ourselves to exhaustion. So, because that's where we start bickering and arguing and get on each other's nerves and wear down that one last nerve.
Right. Absolutely.
Want to stab you with the... Oh, my bad. I better stop.
I'm with you, though. I'm with you. Absolutely. Yeah. The excitement gets going, the emotions, and then we want to try to do more out of our emotions. And, it's just like with having a budget, having a schedule, all of these things hold us back from letting our emotions run away with us. And I don't know about you, but in my life, when my emotions have run away with me, I've had some fantastic adventures, but it's cost me more than I wanted to spend on it. And it's actually been detrimental to my life and my relationships. And so one thing I really love about our relationship and getting to be with you and having you as my wife is that we have learned how to budget our money together. We are now living on a schedule, and it's so much better than when we were just doing whatever we were doing based on how we felt.
It caused so much tension. Agreed.
Excellent. And yeah, RV's looking better. Doing just that one thing per week instead of trying to do everything on a given weekend or everything all the time. I'm feeling so much more comfortable with it. So we've already talked about Breaking Bible. The next thing that we had was Wednesday wash. And so on Wednesdays we take some time to do some cleaning. Jen cleans the inside of our RV and I clean the inside of the truck. How'd that go for you? The cleaning portion.
It's amazing. When you do it every week on a schedule, there's so much less to clean.
Talk about it. Come on.
Right? Because you're not waiting until you feel like it or until it's such a disaster. There's a lot less to do. I finished before our time frame was up. Got some rest in, felt comfortable about it. All good. Not not wondering like when am I going to fit this in, and when will I do that, and you know, oh, he's in my way. I'm trying to clean.
Mm-hmm.
Get the dog out of here. The dog's on my new mop floor.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. So, yeah.
Nice. And so, something we might not have talked about with this is the way we scheduled this out for Wednesday Wash is I'm going to take the dog for an hour out to the dog park, and during that time Jen is going to be able to clean inside the house. And so I'm not in her way, the dog's not in her way. She knows she has just this specific amount of time, which is about an hour, maybe a little less than an hour, to do whatever she needs to do. And how's it having an end point instead of like I just have this list of things that I want to keep cleaning that all need to get cleaned, and they just generally need to get done.
Well, I don't exhaust myself. That's the first thing, because I can be really bad about that. I get, you know, my mind kind of rutted in a project, and it's like I just want to keep going until it's done.
Yeah.
It's been my habit for many years, and you know, there are times when it served me well, but more times than not, it did not. It just exhausted me.
Yeah.
But also, it makes it more productive. When there's a deadline, my brain functions better with a deadline that way. If I know that I have, you know, to get this, and this done by this time, generally it'll get done.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, it's not a crisis. Where if it's just an open-ended, it's like, nah, I got time for some, you know, social media. I'm gonna call some family, maybe text a friend. Oh yeah, I'm feeling like I should talk. Wow, I haven't talked to her in a long time. Yeah, I'm gonna text her. You know, just everything, or you know.
And then suddenly the project hasn't gotten done, and
yeah,
there's just that underlying stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give a time limit, have a definite ending. So, shout out to Dave Ramsey and his team. They're financial people. They teach about budgeting and how to get out of debt. And it was from listening to his show that's where I learned about if someone says they're going to do something, put them on a time frame. Say, when will you have that done? Give me a specific date and time that will be done. And by doing that, you know, his story was the person said that they would have 6 months before they gave up this business, and it had been plaguing their relationship and destroying this person's marriage for years. And so the guy gave himself 6 months and actually ended up selling off the business in like 3 months, because once there was an actual deadline, all of the pressure and struggle and the realization of what it all meant, the ability to deny that it existed, all that went away. And so I had to really deal with reality.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's great. It's been working great for me. I've enjoyed it. And I think my favorite part is because there's a specific day and time that we do it, I actually do it. Because otherwise I'm just going to kind of let it go until it's so overwhelming that I can't even handle it. So I'm not going to do it anyway. And last week I got to do the very first time we did our Wednesday wash. I vacuumed out the truck, and when I came back the next day and looked at it, I was like, ooh, I like this. I like it when the truck is clean. And so I was excited for the next Wednesday wash. I was excited for this week that was coming up, because it meant I was going to get to clean it out more. I vacuumed, I wiped off the dash, and man, it just makes such a difference. And there's so much less pressure because I know exactly when I'm going to do it and for how long I'm going to put into it. It's not just I'm going to spend the whole day trying to clean my truck. No. I get a little less than an hour. All right, let's get the job done. And then take a little break afterwards and just enjoy the fact that it's done. So really been enjoying that. It's exciting. It feeds some joy into life to get to do it and know when it's going to be done. All right, and then our actual Wednesday Wash live stream is our celebration of the fact that we cleaned. And so we play some games, we have some conversation, we tell some stories from our lives. How did that go for you? Give me just a moment to blow my nose and excuse me, folks.
The game part went good, and the initial story part went really good. I remember I told a story about my dad teaching me how to detail a car from top to bottom. And just spending that shoulder to shoulder time with him was good. I appreciated any time that I got to spend with him. And you told a story from your life as well, and that was good. And then we got into some heated discussion, some emotional discussion.
Yes.
And it was a little rough, honestly.
Yeah. I told a story about a friend of the family who took me mountain biking, and what a great experience that was, particularly for me, having a man show me some respect and take me to do something fun. So really enjoyed that. But then, yes, we got into a discussion that I started, and I was trying to... One of my problems when I talk about things is that I start from this very big, vague idea. And it's because I'm really scared of talking about the thing that actually matters to me. Because in my life, when I've tried to do that, I've felt shut down. I felt like people were not interested or didn't care. And so I'm trying to protect myself from that emotional hurt. And I think this happens for a lot of guys. We've been told that we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to be the hero, the provider, the protector. And so there's not really a space for us to be emotionally weak, be in need of help, and so we are so perhaps even overly sensitive about our emotions, because it is a place where we would need to show weakness and we haven't been allowed to. And so what I really wanted to talk about, what I was trying to get the conversation down to, was I was hurt so badly emotionally as a kid by my mother, and wasn't able to talk about it with anyone. I didn't have a dad in my house, so there was nobody I could talk to say, is this normal? Is this right? And I'm talking about it very much as an adult talks about it, but even as a kid, I just wanted someone to help me. I was just a little kid looking for help. And so I was trying to get to that part of the conversation, but because I needed it to be safe to get there, I was asking you to do some things that made you feel not safe. Is that accurate?
I think so.
Yeah, because it was really uncomfortable. And because I was talking about it in such big generalities, and we were on a live stream, so it was going to be out here for people to see, it felt like, I think what it seemed to me as we talked about it afterwards was you were concerned about how the people who were going to see it might feel, and not wanting to push people away because they may or may not disagree with what was going on. Is that accurate?
That was part of it, yeah.
Yeah. And yet I was trying to get you to come meet me where I needed you to meet me at, just personally, with no concern for these people, but we're out here where people can actually see us. So that was my bad for setting us up in a place that wasn't safe for that conversation. I'm sorry. What I did was wrong. Will you forgive me?
Yes.
And just so you know, for future reference, that was what I was trying to do, was get to that deeper conversation about some things that happened in my life, and that generally speaking, those things were not okay. Those things were hurtful. because no one's ever told me that it was wrong for my mom to do that to me. It was hurtful for my mom to do that. I mean, I know I was hurt. I can't help but think of I've seen all the TikToks with the quote from the Office, the American version of The Office, where the main character says, "I'm the victim of a hate crime," and the guy says, "That's not what a hate crime is," and he says, "Well, I hated it." And I bring that up because I hated what my mom did to me, but no one was there to tell me whether it was right or wrong. And so for me in my life, it's just been normal. And I don't want that to be normal. I don't want that to be okay. And I needed your help, but I put us in a position where it was not easy for you to be able to help me. And I think I do that often, particularly with those things, because I'm also, there's still in me that 3-year-old child who wants to protect the image of my mother as a hero, as my hero growing up, which is what she was. My mom raised 2 kids basically on her own, worked really hard, became a teacher, did a lot of things that were really important to help me and my brother have a great life. And so if it ever seems like I'm just down on my mom, what you're actually seeing is someone who has met their hero and was disappointed that the human being didn't live up to the superhero idea. And that's what was going on. But I love my mom. I am so grateful for everything she did for me growing up, providing me with an amazing life. But I am still hurt by some of the things she did to me. And I don't know how to live in the tension of those 2 things and allow her to be the human being that she was while still appreciating all the great things that she did for me as well. What do you want to say, my love? Or did you want to say something, or is it too emotional now, or what's going on?
I'm feeling like I wish I would have known that's where you were going.
Sure.
Because when we're out here, I know you like a good debate, and like I'm ready to go. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you get down to emotions and especially hurts, like that's not the place I want to debate you, because there's nothing up for debate.
Mm-hmm.
If it hurt, it hurt. That's it. There's no, our emotions are valid. We've talked a lot over the years about apologizing and when it's appropriate to apologize and when it's not. And the truth is, the time to apologize is when somebody tells you they're hurt. It's not up for discussion. It's like when you step on somebody's toe, you didn't mean to step on their toe. Well, maybe you did, but generally you didn't mean to, but it still hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And you still caused that person pain. So, anyway.
It is one of the struggles with communication, though, and particularly one of the struggles between men and women, because we do go into conversations so differently, and the goal of our conversations, generally speaking, and this isn't always true, but one of the reasons it's so hard to communicate with any human being is I'm coming from whatever I need, whatever I'm trying to get, whatever my goals are, and you're coming from wherever you are at, what you need and what your goals are, and those things may be worlds apart. And it doesn't mean that either one of us is wrong. It just means we're not getting onto the same page to start the conversation and know this is where we're trying to go, this is what we're trying to do, this is what we're hoping is going to happen.
Right.
So and that's okay. We're still learning how to do that, and that's part of why we share all of this with you, so that you know we're putting ourselves on this schedule. We're having these specific conversations on these specific days so that we can hopefully start from at least closer to the same page. And that's why we do Breaking Bible in the morning, to try to get on the same page. But it's okay that then throughout the rest of the day, you've got things you need to do. I've got things I need to do. They're different. And that means we're not going to be on the same page. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, still enjoying doing life with you. We're really grateful that we do life together. And we're learning, which is fantastic. So, sweet. So we still love each other even after our Wednesday wash uncomfortable discussion.
Yeah.
Had a good time playing games.
Yeah.
And then, so that takes us to Thanksgiving Day. I had a great Thanksgiving with you, my love.
I had a great Thanksgiving.
And we actually ended up doing Friday fun on Thanksgiving Day, and we'll get to that in a minute. But as full-time RVers, sometimes Thanksgiving can be a little different for us than for people who have a sticks and bricks home and get to have their oven that they know is going to actually cook things at the exact temperature that it says and all of that kind of good stuff. So how was our Thanksgiving meal for you?
Interesting. Interesting. It's funny because I like to make like a regular Thanksgiving meal. I really enjoy that. But it just didn't seem in the cards this year. Mm-hmm. It just, we're actually getting ready to go back to California for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And, we're trying to use up all our food because whatever we don't eat by the time we leave, we have to get rid of. So it either goes to another family or it gets thrown away. It'll go bad. So, it just wasn't in the cards to get a whole big bird going. And also, I eat different things on Thanksgiving than you do. You eat a very simple diet on Thanksgiving, and I like a variety. And I also didn't want to invest the money in it this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was something else I wanted to spend our money on.
Yeah, we're going to get to that and we're excited.
Yeah, so.
Awesome. Well, if you want to know what we had for our Thanksgiving meal, you can check out our Instagram. There's some pictures. I still loved it. I enjoyed the meal. I thought it was great. I really, I found it delicious.
Nice.
But yeah, it definitely was not your ordinary, cook a whole turkey and all of that. But it was also fun getting on Instagram and seeing some of you out there who were connected to other RVers in particular, who some of you really did go all out. You had whole turkeys, you had like deep fryers that you put the turkeys in, all kinds of stuff. And
somebody just burned to a crisp their bird.
Oh no!
I mean, not just dark brown with little burn bits. We're talking just charred.
Ooh.
He had left it in the oil too much, and it's the whole bird. Like the whole family's there, and
oh no! Better have a good backup plan. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. Nice. Well, we had our Friday fun on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, we did.
And what did we do, my love?
We went to what was my first NFL game.
Yeah.
Went to see the Saints play.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what an experience.
Yeah.
So many people.
Yes.
So many people.
Yes.
What did they say? 70,000?
70,000 people in attendance, yeah.
And 70,000 people happy to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was, even though there was banter going between the fans of, they played the Bills, so the Bills fans and the Saints fans, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was all in fun.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman in the row in front of us who was a Bills fan, all decked out in his gear. And then in front of him was a lady who was a Saints fan, and they were just going at it in the beginning and making faces and laughing, and shoot, by the time it was done, she had some of his gear on, and it was so good.
Yeah, just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time. Drew Brees was there at halftime for his send-off to say goodbye, so we got to see him. Just a fantastic experience. Just all the things that go on.
Our seats were so good.
Yeah, which is wild because we were up in the nosebleeds and we were behind one of the end zones, but still, what you could see.
Oh, clear as day.
Yeah, absolutely. And it felt like we were much closer than we actually were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And so if you get a chance, try to get yourself to an NFL game. Even if you're not a fan or you're not, it's just one of those things to be with that many people. And as I talked about in our Breaking Bible the next day on Friday, to see that many people all stand up for the national anthem and show respect for our country and our flag and gratitude for what it means, what we get to do because we live here in this country. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. There just was, it felt like there was no divide when we were all together in that stadium.
Yeah.
There was no us versus them. There was just none of that. People were just happy to be there.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? We're literally there for an actual competition between us versus them, but it's fun and feels like we're all still there together because we're all there together for a game.
Yes.
Whereas out here, no, it's not out here in the real world, but out there in the digital world,
yes,
it can feel like we're us against them. The country is divided. All these things and that's not true. It's not true. Our country is not divided. You know, there's people who are trying to divide us.
Yes.
But we're still...
Those people are actually pretty few and far between.
Yeah, we are still one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we're not perfect, but we're working on it. We're working at being better than we were yesterday.
We had a little snafu with the parking. We actually got to the parking garage early and we didn't realize it. And so, the lady doing the parking thing's trying to do it and it's not working. And, instead of getting frustrated, her or I, we just had a good laugh about it. It was good. Mm-hmm. And then when we were in the stadium, people were so helpful.
Yeah.
Even the lady running the door that was checking our ticket thing, our barcode on our phone, you were having trouble getting yours up. And she was just like, it's okay, just wait right here. Just do it. Just go right here. Like, there was no problems.
You had a good time, didn't you?
I really did. I really enjoyed myself.
That's fantastic.
What a great experience. Even when we were in line getting food and the line was long, some woman was just like, hey, what are you having? And what do you think about that? And you think, yeah, I want to get that. It was such a good experience.
It was being with people.
Yeah.
And since we haven't for so long, because we've all been locked down and scared of each other, told to be scared of each other, man, getting out there with all those people, none of us were afraid of each other. And we all had all of that pent-up energy of, man, we just love each other.
Yeah.
Even if we are different, even if we are rooting for a different team, even if we are whatever it is.
Yeah.
We love each other.
Yeah.
We're people. We're all human beings. Man,
exactly.
it was good.
I really appreciated how the Saints had their scoreboards set up and how on their big, screen scoreboards, they would help rile up the crowd. The music was amazing the whole night.
Yep.
I mean, their DJ was on. It was just so good.
Yeah, it's definitely a show. It's definitely entertaining. We had a good time.
Yeah, I didn't even... it would have been nice if the Saints had won. But I wasn't weird about it. It was okay. It was still fantastic.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
As much as our dog is getting on my nerves right now, I really think he needs to go out again.
Ooh, okay.
So, how would you like to handle this?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know how we ought to handle this one. Let me take him out.
Okay.
Why don't you talk a little bit more about the Saints game and this whole week, just how the being on schedule has been for you.
All right. So, going to the Saints game, it's been a minute since we've been around a lot of people. And once we got into the stadium area, not even into the stadium itself, there was a whole huge tailgate thing going on, big party, big stage. They had a band, like just thousands and thousands of people out, and it was a little overwhelming. I had to stop, take a deep breath, take another one, just relax, be like, okay, this is good. Now, for me, I'm grateful that our government saw fit to have us locked down. As frustrating as it was, I do understand that it was a method to protect us. And so, I'm okay with that. But it's an adjustment to get back to lots of people in one place. I was grateful that we had gotten vaccinated before we left on our big trip, because we didn't know what was coming, or where we were going to be. And so that was one of the stipulations in going to the NFL game. So that was fine. We carried our cards, and it was fine. There was just so many good things happening, and everybody's so happy in one place. It reminds me that generally people want to do good, and generally people want to be happy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a few that want to argue all the time.
Sure.
I get that.
But if you're that upset all the time, there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to help you get over yourself.
No, not at all. Not at all.
If you're having that bad a life, man, I feel bad for you, and I'm sorry that you're struggling that much, but at some point you're going to have to do something different.
I think I appreciated, too, every worker that we came across was just very real life. Nobody was pretending to be something that they weren't. Like, the bartender was having some frustrations. She needed some help. Her bar back had, was nowhere to be found. But instead of getting mad about it or anything, she just had a good laugh and, looked at us and was like, what am I supposed to do with these sodas? I don't even have room for these. I don't even know. And it was nice to be connected to people again.
And speaking of that, we did enjoy some adult beverages. And because of that, we did not go out on Saturday night to go dancing.
We did not go nowhere.
Yes, when we got back, we were in recovery mode. We had our stretchy pants on. It had been Thanksgiving, and we had eaten. We went out and had ourselves a good time at a game, and we were in recovery mode. I just remember something that happened. So we got done with the game, and it was earlier than we thought it was going to be. And we wanted to stop and get some food. So we were looking for... We're from California, where there's 24-hour food places. There's at least a Jack in the Box that's open 24 hours. Even on Thanksgiving?
Even on Thanksgiving. There's always something. Some place is open. So I think we found a Cane's, and we drove over there, and it was not open, even though it said it was going to be open. But the McDonald's next door was all lit up, so we got in line. There were other people in line. Yeah, cool. I got on my app. I ordered it on my app, and I was like, yeah, we're getting a good deal. And we waited and waited and waited. And then the person in front of us went. And I looked over, and the people next to us are still waiting. I said, drive up to the window.
15 minutes later, we actually drove up to the window.
Yeah, we drive up to the window, and there's nobody in there.
Not a soul in sight.
So the app let me order. And we actually ordered it ahead of the time that they were closing.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't say anything. They didn't turn off the lights. They just peaced out. That was the funniest thing.
Yep. Oh, man.
Oh my gosh! And then I went back and I looked at the video. It was so funny to me that our call number for our order was BH, and then the numbers. But that is not how it came out of my mouth.
And you can check that out on TikTok. We've got that one up there.
Good Lord. Anyway.
It's some funny stuff.
It was.
Nice. We've had a great week. And so let's do the most important part of having had a great week. God, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for such a great week, for so many opportunities, for brand new things that we got to do. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for providing everything we need so that we can do these things, including the discipline of budgeting so we have money available to do them, the discipline of scheduling so that we can take care of things at the right time and not get all in each other's way. Being able to do this dance of life in the unforced rhythms of grace, because you've given us some disciplines that order our lives so that we can enjoy some of the chaos as well. And there's a lot of fun to be had out there, and knowing that we can have some fun and limit ourselves just enough so that we're not not spending every single day recovering like we had to recover after that NFL game. We're so grateful for you, Lord. Thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you that you give us such a great life and have helped us to become exactly who you want us to be, and we can rest in that. We love you. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So we come to our renegotiate part. So during the week we talked about, on Sundays we're trying to during Sunday setup we're telling our past DIY stories, and on Mondays while we're doing the project we're going to talk people through the project and what it is. Now is the day we get to actually negotiate that. Are you okay with that idea? Do you want to do something else? Are there any details you need to know more about?
I like that idea.
Okay.
I think it's good. And honestly, until I do it once, I won't know the parameters of what I need in it.
Sure.
So I'm willing to try it out.
We'll try it out, and then next week we can come back and see if it works. All right. This Wednesday, hey, here's a little hint about what's going on. This Wednesday for our Wednesday wash, we are actually flying back to California to see our granddaughter.
To see the baby.
So we're excited about that. We're excited to see our kids. We're going to have a Christmas party while we're out there. Really excited about all of that.
I'm going to go see some water polo moms.
Yeah.
Our kids played water polo in high school, and we're having a little mom reunion.
Nice. Yeah. So we'll still be doing our breakfast and Bible and all of our scheduled activities with all of you. But
our surroundings are going to look a little different.
Yeah, and the times will be a little different. So,
yeah, absolutely.
You'll still be able to find out our schedule on Twitch, so you can check that out. It will be corrected to your time zone and area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to be a little different this week, and that's okay.
I'm so excited to take BB on the plane.
Yeah.
Take our dog on the plane.
Yeah.
He's such a good boy.
He is. He is a really good boy.
He's going to do fine.
Yeah. It should be good.
It's easy for me to get worried about, oh no, what if he misbehaves? And misbehaving for him is not like other dogs. Misbehaving for him is trying to kiss you.
Yeah. Misbehaving
for him is loving you. It's not biting you or, getting angry, or definitely not barking.
Yeah.
That's and I sometimes I have to remember that
he's a really good boy.
He is.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so is there anything else that we need to renegotiate? Anything else that's been going on or is going to go on differently for this week that we need to be aware of or think through?
Yes. I have a concern about a repair on the trailer that was not scheduled for our Monday maintenance. So I'll just bring it up and then we'll decide what to do. But I'm concerned about the rain while we're gone,
Mm-hmm.
and we have that hole in the rubber up top.
Okay.
Um, but in order to get the tape to fix it, it's a 24-hour turnaround. So, um, even if I ordered it today, we couldn't even pick it up till tomorrow. So, do you think we should try to squeeze that in somewhere between now and the time we leave?
So I'm a little lost because you're claiming that we've decided what we're going to do for Monday maintenance
Oh.
and pretending like it's already done.
Oh.
Is that where you're coming from?
I think so.
Well, why do you think that? Why do you believe that we've already decided what we're doing for Monday maintenance?
Because you asked me that yesterday, and I told you what we were doing.
Okay. And that means that it can't change?
No, that doesn't mean that at all.
Okay, so basically until we start Sunday setup, everything's written in pencil. We can erase it and put something different. So if you now want to erase it and put something different, we could do that.
Well, shoot. What's that word in Hawaii? Shoots.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've decided that you want to try to fix that thing on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then at Sunday setup we'll, or even before then, as soon as we get done here, you can order the thing and hopefully it'll be available, or we can find out if it will be available or not. But since we haven't fixed it yet, if it gets fixed, great, and if not, you got to stop worrying and you got to pray.
Yes.
That's what we learned, because we can't control everything,
No,
right?
Not at all.
Oh, my love, sometimes you make me laugh. I love you, but come on now. We haven't made any of those decisions. And even if we did, it's in pencil and it can change. Come on now. Okay. So it sounds like we've got some idea of what we might want to do for Monday maintenance. That's good. Wednesday wash, like we said, we're going to be flying, and we'll still be doing all of our normal things that are scheduled. And while we're out in California, we'll still be doing all of those things. So stay on the lookout for all of that on Twitch and YouTube and everywhere else that you connect with us. And thank you for connecting with us. Keep inspiring us to do more of what we're doing. We already know where we're keeping the trailer and the truck, where we're going to store them.
That's so good.
And it feels comfortable, right? Knowing that it's all taken care of. We're not chickens with our heads cut off running around trying to figure things out. It's nice to plan ahead. It feels pretty good. Yes.
I'm just real excited. So can I share this idea with you?
Sure.
So I found out that with our MWR cards, that we have access to the auto hobby shops on the military bases.
I'm a disabled veteran for any of you who don't know. Okay.
And so if we needed to do a minor repair or whatever ourselves to our truck or whatever, they have tools there and people that can help you and all kinds of stuff. I just thought that was a cool thing. Anyway, I was reminded of it because we're storing our truck at Auto Hobby.
Okay. All right.
I know it's weird. Like I'm the girl and I get so excited over tools and projects and.
Oh, there's nothing weird about that. It just, oh man. All right. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to negotiate or renegotiate about what we're going to be doing between now and next Sunday? Man, we are all over the place today.
I would like to recap what we're doing about dishes at night and dishes and cooking and all that, because I'm feeling a little lost in it.
Okay.
So, can you tell me what you believe the parameters to be, and then we can discuss that?
So our last negotiation last Sunday was whoever's cooking also does the cleaning for the dishes that day.
Okay. But
that ends after, it's okay, it's just B. That ends after the dinner dishes are done. Say that 3 times fast. So basically, we have dinner about 6 o'clock. Then those dishes get done. And from that time until breakfast the next morning, if you make dirty dishes, you wash those dishes yourself. Obviously, there are some complications that can easily arise from that. And they may not get done. So, what else is going on here? What's the...
And so when we say dishes, are we talking just dishes? Or are we talking about cleaning up that whole area? So like anything we make a mess when we're cooking.
That whole area is too vague for me. You're going to have to be more definitive.
Wiping off the stove, and since we're in small quarters, it's actually the wall by it. Wiping off the sink area, the sink tray and the table, that sort of thing.
All right. Folks, you're now seeing one of the main reasons why you don't leave, generally speaking, men in the kitchen. Because I don't think about any of that. None of that even comes into my mind. At all. Last night I made burgers, and bacon burgers at that. And so I'm guessing there's some grease and all kinds of stuff all over the oven and the stove area. Sorry, not the oven, but the stove area. And so, I don't know. We have not negotiated that part. We have not talked about that. We talked about the dishes, and whoever cooks does the dishes, and that includes washing them, drying them, putting them away, the whole thing. And
we did talk about the air fryer.
We did talk about the air fryer, yes. If you use it, you got to clean it out that same day. So whoever's cooking and using it to cook cleans it out. Now, does that mean that if one of us, like if the decision for lunch is, hey, you're on your own, and the other person uses it for lunch, they have to clean it out themselves? We haven't talked about that. That's why we do this renegotiation thing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many details, and it's easy to get lost.
Yeah. Remember that there's details that we might not see the same. So.
Good job, baby. All right, so what would you like to have happen with all of this situation that we're talking about? Specifically, we're talking about the the stove, and now you've brought up the wall behind it and the whole stove area. So what would you like to have happen?
What I would like to have happen is whoever does the dishes also wipes off the stove area, because a mess gets made on there every time we cook.
Yeah, we got that. So whoever makes the mess cleans it up. So if you're the cook for the day, that the job includes washing, drying, and putting away the dishes, and wiping down the stove, and the whole area around it. So this is where I'm going to give some pushback. It's not something that I think about, and I don't feel comfortable knowing how to do it. So I'm scared that I'm going to do it, and it's still not going to be up to your standard. This is a problem I personally have because of the way I grew up, and you can find out more about that in some of the clips we've done, and some of our YouTube videos and such, as you're getting to know me and getting to know us. But yeah, I'm really not comfortable cleaning all that, because I don't think I'm going to do it up to your standard. And the flip side for me is, last week we talked about one of our negotiations is we want to keep the shower curtain open. And that doesn't always happen, because throughout the day it's just used and moved, and it doesn't mean one of us is or is not closing it necessarily, but it's one of those things that one of us is less mindful of than the other. So I notice it more often than not. Whereas the stove area is something you notice much more than me. So I'm just concerned that I'm not even going to pay attention to it. It's just not going to come to my mind. And if you do still want me to clean it, then part of my negotiation is you actually have to show me how to do that and when to do that. Because another issue I have is most of that stuff is still hot. So am I supposed to wipe it down while it's hot? Am I supposed to wait till all of that oil and grease congeals and then it's hard to... I don't know how to do any of this. You're going to have to teach me.
Okay.
If you want me to do it. So what is our actual... I think what's happened so far in our negotiations is you have claimed that you want whoever's cooking to clean that stove area. My counter offer is, if you want that, I need a lesson in how to do it. What is your counter offer?
I'm willing to show you how to do it and also offer you some grace.
What does grace mean?
If you don't do it perfect, it's not a crisis.
Okay. And I believe that about you. It just doesn't... I just don't want to feel all those feelings that come up when I think about... There's this just anxiety that just crunches all my muscles. And then my PTSD starts kicking. I'm gonna die! My muscles start spasming. It's just stressful. So, but okay. If you're gonna... When are you going to give me this lesson?
I would like to do it when we're done with our meeting today, our renegotiation. Because I'm going to need to do it anyway. The time frame for me to do it is coming up, so. Okay.
My problem with that is I need to see it done after you actually cook. I need to know what the time frame is from I'm done cooking and now I'm going to let it sit for a while, or I'm going to clean it up right now, and how you do that when the stove, all the pieces of the stove are still hot.
Which is why I waited till after we actually ate our meal, because otherwise it's hot. You can't do it. Chemicals will get in your face. You'll be breathing that shit.
I'm getting what you're telling me. I don't think I'm communicating well for you. Okay. I need to actually watch you cook so that you heat that whole area up, and then have part of the lesson be, this is the waiting period, and then see you clean it. So I need to see you cook and then clean all in one, as one whole thing that happens. Does that make sense?
No, and yet I believe you.
I like it. I like it. And this is how we have to learn to negotiate, folks. Okay.
And the truth is, it doesn't have to make sense to me. It can seem like the most ludicrous thing on the planet. But if that's what you need, that's what you need.
Sweet. I appreciate that, baby. Thank you.
So, can we schedule that for dinner time tonight?
Yes. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, baby.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here and being part of what we're doing. Check us out on all the social media platforms. Come meet with us. We love having you. You inspire us. Your comments inspire us and keep us going. So,
may your day be blessed
as you pass each test
by trusting God's best
and accepting God's rest.
Tully Adventurers,
explore.